people they're in a hole without showing them how to get out of it. You don't hurt them. You don't scare them. I like people to walk away from my readings feeling, okay, that was a nice whole thing. Maybe I'll go back in 10 years. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I won't. So that's another thing. And another thing I want to tell you. The other night, I went for dinner, and the lady at the bar said, there are women who want to talk to you. The night by Kathy. So I go to the bar, and she said, 22 years ago, I went to you for a reading, and you told me to light a blue candle and a pink candle, and that I would have twins, boy and girl. She said a year later, I gave birth to a boy and a girl twins. And I always think of you 22 years later. That was fun. It was very nice.
But that's what I mean. This stuff is...
It's real.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The cards talk. They talk to me. Numbers talk. Symbols talk.
I go crazy with the license plates.
Me too. They'll tell you your day.
Oh, my God. It's just insane.
I read them, too, all the time.
The day my mother passed, I was driving from my sister's. I see a license plate, 634, which is her month and her year. Then I see a license plate 619, which is her month and her day.
And her birthday.
Driving, she just passed away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just
telling
give
you,
me confirmation.
I'm with you.
Yeah. To me, everything speaks.
I agree.
The license plates, the cards, the birds, the stones.
Everything.
Everything. And if you have the consciousness in it, to me, you have to open your heart to connect to Source. If your heart is closed, your internal guidance system is...
You won't see anything.
And it's going to give you false information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be open-hearted and open-mind. The mind, to me, is a processor. The true way of connecting is through your heart.
I agree.
You know, and a lot of people are afraid to do that because you get hurt. But if you can step past that and step into that frequency of love, it's just love. There's nothing there. Just love.
And sometimes it comes and goes, and sometimes people leave us. The best thing to do is wish them well, or say, I wish you get everything you deserve. Not a bad thing, and I wish that for myself too.
Yeah, whatever you put out, you're going to get back.
That's all, and go on your way and make a good life. If it's not with me, let it be something better or something else. Hold on to nothing. Yeah. Because we leave as naked as we came. Yeah. All we have is our soul.
I go to the monastery, and the Buddha talks to me. Mm-hmm. One time I got this whole big thing about be like the water and the wind. Mm-hmm. Like the water's just a little slower than the wind. Mm-hmm. But they wrap themselves around everything but hold on to nothing.
Right.
You know,
and they let it all go.
Yeah, just whirl around your house or maybe take your house down and just keep going. It doesn't hold anything.
No.
And to be that way.
Well, that's the thing about no attachment.
Yeah, no judgments, no attachment.
No judgment. It's a lifetime of working on these things. Yeah. It's not bumper stickers.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about being alone, which is not a bad thing at all, and about being within yourself, turning in. It's not, in my generation, we were raised by people who said, you're selfish when you think about yourself. You have to think about everybody else. So I took my granddaughter on a plane, and the stewardess starts talking about if the thing
oxygen,
comes. And so she said, when the thing comes down, if you're traveling with children, make sure you put it on yourself first. And I almost put my hands up. No, you're making a mistake. You put it on the child first. But I thought about it. No. You put it on yourself.
So you can help the children.
Right. And it's a metaphor for life. You help yourself so you have energy to help others. Yeah. And that's what I do when I sit down. It's 110% of my soul.
Goes into this.
Goes into every reading. Yeah. Every single one.
I agree with you.
And, I give them everything I have for an hour. I'm always open to people calling me and whatever, coming back. I'm also an interfaith minister, so I marry people, and I went to seminary and got ordained. I do that, weddings and marriages, funerals, because I feel like, not ego, I never sit down with my ego. I have been through a lot in my life, and a lot of very dark painful paths that I took to get to here. It wasn't just one big leap from a castle to a palace.
To me, it's like a giant purge, like
Yeah.
cleansing, purification by fire. All
Yeah.
those dark places make you, if
Each
you get
one.
through them, you come out in a better place.
Each one. And I
I
feel
remember-
like I climbed out of hell,
Yeah.
actually.
I had a girlfriend one time say to me, you know, I get devastated. And for whatever reason, sometimes I feel God actually touches me in my life. Because it's the change is instant. My body gets a vibration or whatever, a chill. And one day I saw them and I was talking to them and they said, I feel like I gave birth to Jesus Christ. And I said to them, maybe you did. You know, because those dark places, if you have the strength to get through them, it really...
Something divine is helping you, whatever it is you believe in, angels.
Yes, but you got to have that faith to get through. But like you're saying, you transform.
I think you have to, because I know people who've stayed the same. One time my mother, who lived in the past and bemoaned everything and held on to grudges, she was a Taurus forever. I said to her, Ma, you're talking about a cousin who's dead 40 years, what she said to you 40 years ago. Why can't you let go? She said, I can't. I said, why? She said, who will I be? And she defined herself by the dark passages in her life because the fear of letting go of that and the unknown was overwhelming to her. And that's how she passed away.
Yeah, people
Very
subscribe to the
childish.
stories, and they're not their stories.
That's right.
So
It just feels good or bad or something.
do you feel these tools help people to get to a better place? If they're open to it.
If
right?
they're open, and people don't come to me when they're shut down.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
But I mean, also, you can give somebody a phenomenal reading. They can get up and walk away and re-engage with all their junk. Okay?
Absolutely. I can't fix anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I can only tell
fix
them
themselves.
at what level they're at.
Yeah, and you give them guidance.
Right. And what comes up a lot of times are the spots that are weak in their lives and how to strengthen it. For instance, a lady today was fearful and worried that she didn't do enough and that she wasn't enough. So I taught her how to write and burn, how to let go, because it was not necessary. There was no reason for that. She's a wonderful mother and wife and daughter. It's her own head.
Yeah, the guilt and the shame that gets...
It's programmed from
printed into us.
churches and synagogues and teachers and priests and the TV. We're programmed to feel guilt, which is a bullshit feeling. It's anger and fear is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
and they're nasty enemies.
It's murderous cancer.
Yeah.
And it will kill you.
Absolutely.
So,
it will destroy your life.
You know, every day we work on getting clearer and cleaner. And for me, these are my tools. Just like a surgeon would take out a scalpel, this is what I take out. Now, there are readers who only do...
they do it one way.
Without anything.
Yes.
Clairvoyance.
Yeah.
That's wonderful too. I can't do
person.
that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see spirits and auras around people, but I need my tools.
Yes.
I need the astrology. I need the cards. It's not that I depend on them, but I do. They are my tools, just like when I was a hairdresser, my scissor and comb were my tools. So there's all kinds of ways to get readings. People who do hands-on, they'll touch you. What you do, you've taken pain out of my body that I was walking around with for years. You took guilt out of my mother-in-law's body that she was suffering with for 60 years. It's real. It's real. And I think that the whole medical profession is starting to realize that. They've gone back to giving schizophrenics LSD and using marijuana for healing. And the earth is filled with magical herbs for us. It has everything we need. Yeah. So for whatever the reason and wherever the cards came from in the 1300s, they morphed into a place where numbers come together and speak their mind, and they always do. I can't even explain it better how and why it happens.
Yeah.
I think it's magic.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I do. I think it's magic, and that I've harnessed something.
Yeah. Well,
But it
you
took
have
me
a
years.
You were born to do this.
Yeah.
It was a calling.
Yeah, and that lady knew it, and I never saw her
Yeah.
again.
She came, delivered the message, helped you, and when she left, you were solo.
Well, I'll tell you a little more about that. So that was 1968, and I started to do readings after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a reading for a friend of mine around 1970, and what I heard, and I hear things, was your grandma's going to die. I didn't know to keep my mouth shut in those years. I thought, I have to say everything I hear. So I told him, and he got very mad at me. My grandmother's healthy. P.S. A week later, she had a massive coronary and died. I took the cards, and I threw them on the top of the closet behind the gloves and the hats and the scarves. A year later, I heard, Rena, come and get us. Open the cards, I swear.
No.
Just about a year later, I went and I opened them, and then I started to listen. And what I heard was, you do not prophesize death. You will see it. You do not do that because you could be wrong.
Yeah.
You don't hurt people. You don't say things to people that they can't fix.
Yeah.
They have to leave your table as whole and better than when they came in.